to contacting a lender, it really depends on the timing of what you're talking about. If you are 3 months, 4, 5 months out from actually finding your home and purchasing the home and actually closing on your home, then yes, I say you would contact me. And here's the reason I say that. Because there may be some small things on your credit report that you can navigate through that'll help you improve your score. Now, of course, again, if you improve your score, and you could go from one category, you could be a person in the fair category. The average in America is 673, so you could have a 673, but with a few tweaks, then you can maybe have, you can have a 700. You can have a 720. That puts you in a totally different category when you go to your lender and tell your lender, I want to buy a home. That oftentimes, if you raise your score that high or a little higher, then you can technically purchase more home than you could if you had a lower score. So they, oftentimes, mortgage lenders will limit how much home that they will approve you for, no matter how much money you make. So if you make enough money, but your credit score is bad or poor or at the very bottom of their threshold, then they may say you can't buy a $280,000 home, but we will approve you for a $250,000 home. And you could be 10, 12, 20 points away from being able to get the $280,000 home that you want. And you know as well as I that if you go and you look at a home and it's a $300,000 home, and then your mortgage company tells you that you can only afford or will only lend you enough money for a $240,000 home, you're never going to find a $240,000 home that you like. Now, it probably would have been fine and perfectly fine prior to you going and seeing that $300,000 home, because there is a difference between the two. It'd be perfectly fine. But if you go and then they say, no, we can't lend you that kind of money, then that's going to be an issue for you. So that's why I say you contact somebody like me, a credit restoration person, professional, that can help you navigate those waters and increase your credit scores. And if you have anything on your credit report that is incorrect or in collections, you're going to have to clear those things up before you can close on a loan anyway. Now, it's not all the way across the board. Most mortgage lenders have parameters, and they tweak them and change them all the time. But if you owe somebody $430, they're not necessarily going to make you pay off that $430 just so you can get a loan. But if you owe somebody $2,000, then that may be something that you'll have to deal with prior to being able to close your loan. So if you already know this going in, you should take care of that $2,000 prior to. That's something that I would help you with. I don't know about other credit restoration places, but that's something that I would absolutely help you with and help you reduce the amount that you actually owe. So instead of paying somebody $2,000, if you've listened to the show Collections How to Handle, you know that the effort there would never be to pay somebody $2,000 and you owe them $2,000 per collection. So that's why I would say that you would contact somebody like me first. Now, on the other hand, a mortgage lender, and they're all not created equal. I used to be a mortgage lender. I did that job for 6-7 years. I'm very familiar with underwriting, et cetera, et cetera. I ran an office, 8 employees. If you got one of my top 3 employees, you were golden. If you had an issue at all, they were going to solve it. They were going to seek to solve it. Those other employees, God bless you, help you. If you had an issue, something that could be very minor, they were not going to take the extra step to help you necessarily. And if somebody else didn't step in to do that, then maybe your loan gets through, maybe your loan doesn't. Maybe it costs you a little more than it really should have or it could have because they didn't have the skills or the I don't know if they had the wherewithal to be able to help someone out that needed a little help pushing themselves along to get the mortgage closed. So not everybody is created equal. There are some very, very good mortgage lenders out there, some people that want to get this done for you ethically and get you the best deal out there, but not everybody's created equal. If you go to some mortgage lenders and you walk in with a 600 score and you have 3 items on your credit report and you've got to clear up all 3 of those items. Now, if you cleared up all 3 of those items 6 months ago by contacting me at 800creditscoreman@gmail.com, if you cleared those things up 6 months ago, your credit score had already increased and you will be perfectly fine. But now you've got to go in. They're going to hold you at that number. You can request, and people don't know this, you can request for your mortgage lender to recalculate after you've cleared up some of the things. But a lot of people don't, and some mortgage lenders won't recalculate your score after you've cleared up the things that they asked you to do, because it may cost you more money to have the old score than to have your new score. So you might get a break. Your score might go up 10 points that you need to be able to reduce your rate or what have you. And that's going to take money out of the mortgage lender's pocket. So you may not get that benefit in there. So that's why I say, if you're asking me, Michelle from Illinois, you say, who do you contact first? The mortgage lender or a credit person like myself? I'm going to tell you that you contact me, because all of the mortgage lenders are not created equal. Even all credit restoration people and companies are not created equal. But I say you contact somebody like me first, get a free evaluation. Even if you got to pay for the evaluation, get you one of those evaluations and take a look at it to help you improve your score before you go and apply for that mortgage. So thanks a lot, Michelle. I appreciate it. You are officially part of the 800 Credit Score Man Show family. Thank you very much. And if you have questions, this segment of the show is always about a question that comes from individuals that I talk to. So if you have a question at all, contact me, 800creditscoreman@gmail.com, or any one of those other platforms. You can contact me, ask a question. If you're in the Credit Score Comeback Facebook group, then you can ask a question in there. And of course, on my page, 800 Credit Score Man for Facebook or Instagram, or again on Twitter, you can ask questions and you may become a part of the 800 Credit Score Man Show family simply by putting in a question, and I may use it on the air. You can see from this example, Michelle, I just use your first name and then the state that you're coming from. Other than that, I will not give out your personal information, and I will answer your question directly to you, and you may be on part of the show, and I'll let you know that you'll be part of the show so you can listen in as well. So, all right, thanks again, Michelle. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the second part of the show. And actually, before we move on, I told you guys I had a lot of birthday shout-outs. So I got another birthday shout-out I want to give you guys. So Nora, or Sonora, or I like to call her No King, celebrating their birthday on the 19th of this month. So happy birthday to you, early birthday, because it's tomorrow. So happy birthday to you. I want to give a shout out to Tanya Young as well. She's celebrating a birthday coming up. So happy birthday to you. And there is a wonderful actress named Sonika Johnson. I want to give her a birthday shout out as well. So happy birthday to you, Sonika Johnson. Happy birthday. All right. So let's jump into this last part of the show. I want to talk to you about the brand new things. This is what you've been waiting on. The brand new things. And I talked to you and I teased on all of my social media saying, how do you raise your credit score by doing nothing at all? And yes, I said nothing. You can raise your credit score 20, maybe 40 points by doing absolutely nothing at all. And you saying to yourself, you're sitting there saying, now how in the world is this possible that I can raise it that many points? That's a lot of points. 20, 40 points, that's a lot of points to raise your credit score by doing absolutely nothing. Let me tell you exactly what's coming down the pipe so you are aware of this. At the beginning of the show, I said if you got a credit person working on your credit or you're dealing with somebody, then and they haven't called you or sent you an email or anything giving you this information, then they're not worth their salt. You need to get somebody that's going to help you navigate these waters to increase your credit score. So here's how you can do nothing and increase your credit score 20 to 40 points. The credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, announced earlier this week or earlier in the week, and I got to give a shout out to Mark Bacon. He was the first person to send me an article regarding this, and I got it from several people. But Mark Bacon was the very first person to send me an article regarding this, and thank you very much. It's just been printed in the Wall Street Journal and Washington Post and all over the internet, and it's been on TV as well. So what's going to happen with the three credit bureaus? They are no longer, listen to me, they are no longer going to collect and record data for tax liens and judgments on your credit reports. Again, if you have a judgment, that's not a collection. If you have a judgment where they went to court, they sued you in court, you lost and you owe somebody money, that is a judgment. So if you have a judgment or you have a tax lien or any kind of lien, you have a tax lien, it's actually not going to be recorded and placed onto your credit report. And this is going to take effect July the 1st, 2017. So coming up real soon, this is going to take effect. So July the 1st, 2017, no longer will the three major credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, no longer will they record or place on your credit reports tax liens or judgments. Now, how in the world does this help you raise your credit scores? We all know that if you contact or you try to get information off of your credit reports, that hopefully the point is to get your credit score to go up. So if you have a judgment and the judgment is removed from your credit report, then your credit score should go up, right? If you have a lien, now liens stayed on your credit report 7, some 8, 10 years, tax liens, and I talked about this before. The federal, if you didn't pay your taxes, your federal taxes, and you got a lien, but then you went and paid it, at least with federal, you had the opportunity to request that they take that off of your credit report. With state, you didn't have that option with most states. You couldn't ask them to take it off of your credit report once you've paid that. So people that have tax liens, because you didn't pay your taxes, maybe it's property taxes, maybe it's state taxes at the time, but now it's paid and it shows zero and it's still on your credit report, that's going to come off your credit report. That is going to help your credit score go up. So July the 1st, this is going to take place. Now you and I both know that come July the 2nd, that doesn't mean that it's going to automatically come off your credit report because it takes a little time. Everything runs a little slow. So I wouldn't get in too much of a hurry to run out and take a look at your credit score on July the 2nd. Be like, oh, it's after July the 1st, so my score should be up. That's not necessarily what's going to happen. But beginning July the 1st, that's going to happen. It also means, too, because somebody's going to ask this question, if I already have judgments and liens, are they going to stay on my credit report? No, they're not going to stay on your credit report. They are going to come off your credit report. So if you're sitting at a 650 right now and, you're looking to buy something or you're just working on your credit because you want to work on your credit and you have judgments and liens, they are going to come off your credit report and your credit score should go up. So I want to caution you and remind you guys, if you're working with somebody that helps you with restoring your credit, repairing your credit, whatever these other people do, fix your credit, you have somebody like that, and your credit score goes up in the month of July, bet money that they'll be calling you saying, hey, we got your credit score went up, we got something done for you, because they don't think that you know this information, that this is automatic. You don't have to do a thing. You ain't got to request nothing. You don't have to send an email. You don't have to click a button, and your credit score could go up because those two things will come off of your credit report, those two types of things, tax liens and judgments, and not just tax liens. So you might have property tax, property issue, something like that as well. They'll come off your credit report. Now, how does that translate to 20 or 40 points? Here's how it translates to 20 or 40 points. It's just estimated that it could be as much as 20 points. We just don't know. It could be as much as 20 or 40 points that people that have this kind of issue can gain by doing absolutely nothing and getting that done. Now, here's how it could potentially hurt you. or banks already are complaining about this information. They're saying we won't have accurate information about somebody's credit worthiness and be able to judge them correctly because we'll no longer get to see this information. But if they all know, and we all know, that it's going to be, it's going to be 20 to 40 points, I'm going to predict